Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Reality Is, where words do come to life. So as you can see, I'm not doing no intros, I'm not doing no outros. We're just getting straight to the point. So want to make everyone aware, those of you who have family members who experience certain situation in Statesville. As you know, I made two videos referencing that the inmates were receiving one bottle of 16-ounce water a day. I also made videos referencing that the water in Statesville was contaminated. And then I talked about um, the mother calling Statesville, inquiring about the conditions of her son, and she was told that he had been released to go home, which is not factual. So I'm not understanding how we have entities that when a family member calls inquiring about that individual who our system has confined, that you don't have proper information to give to the family members. And so we're reaching out to various organizations. We're reaching out to a variety of individuals who are involved in prison reform and conversation about mass incarceration and wrongful convictions and the Accountability Act. And so we're going to be doing a couple of roundtables referencing that. And a petition is already circling to have Statesville shut down. Um, we come to these places and points because those who are in position and authority to make decisions of what should happen the right way, they don't seem to be able to conduct proper business as it relates to those human beings that they have confined in these facilities. No one should be locked behind bars and treated like animals. And I've said this consistently. It doesn't make sense to me. But yet, and still, we have those in charge. We have these wardens. We have these elected officials who's over these entities that have majority of our black and brown confined in these facilities. And you justify what you do. And here is where the scale does not balance, because as we see it played over and over again in different areas, not just in Illinois, but across this land and country, the insurrection at the Capitol, what happened with George Floyd, what happened with Breonna Taylor. We see the things with Kyle Rittenhouse. We see how our judicial system and how when white people are brought to justice for something that they did, it doesn't play out that way. They get bonds and they get to go home to their families. But statistically, our jail systems, and I'm sure it's not just here, it's across this land and country, that most of the prisons that we have are used for black and brown individuals. And this is just another form of slavery. Now, we have all these organizations out here that say they stand up for prison reform and they're fighting for the rights of inmates. Well, then we need to come together and make sure that happens. We need to start from the bottom all the way to the White House. It needs to be changed. Every governor, every mayor, every senator, every congressman, every state representative, every head of the sheriff department, every state's attorney, every alderman, every mayor. Everybody is responsible for our failed, flawed judicial system. Even the head of the courts, the chief judges. Most of our system, most of our judges are white, pretty much. There's very few percentage wise that will be black. And then even our state's attorneys, um, just like the state's attorney for Breonna Taylor, how he just swishy swash didn't want to do his job, and then he want to not address what happened to an innocent young lady. It's too much stereotyping going on and not enough of where we see that we are treated fairly. We've already been prejudged by the color of our skin. This has been going on 400 plus years, and we're in 2021 and it hasn't changed yet. We're still prejudged. If a black man drives a nice car, he has to be a drug dealer, and that's not the case. There are some men who work 2 and 3 jobs to get what they want to take care of their families. So we box the black man in, and we set it up to destroy the family. You don't destroy the white family. You let the husband go home. You let the wife go home. So their kids are not missing anybody. When Brett Kavanaugh got into the U.S. Supreme Court, there was ladies who came before the committee to tell what had happened. But because he was a white man, it was okay for him to grope, to feel, to fondle a woman. But when it comes down to a black man doing that, your Bill Cosby's, your R. Kelly, and I know people would say, oh, R. Kelly was wrong. But let me tell you something. These parents were involved in some of that crap. The entertainment business goes along with that crap. It ain't nothing new. And I'll go back to the owner of Playboy. He was a white man, but every female that was in that Playboy management was underage. See, we justify what we want to justify. We want to justify how we want to justify it. And I'm saying it needs to stop. It needs to change. And that's all the way from the White House down to the darkest of the houses. Every Senate, every Congress, every mayor, every governor, every person that's an elected official, this is a problem. And you all just keep sweeping up on the rug. I find it strange, as I mentioned in other videos, that when Asian people were being misused, instantly a hate crime bill was signed. Well, black people have been misused forever. Where is our hate crime bill? Where is our protection? Where is our justice? We don't get any. You know why? Because y'all don't care. You don't care. You don't care. You steal our ideals, you steal our land, you steal our people. And then you want to pay us crumbs. I'm not understanding. So just know that roundtable discussions are coming. They're working on gathering individuals to have these discussions. And we're talking about how families are financially strained. We're talking about how state's attorney plays a part. We're talking about how sometimes we're talking about the Accountability Act. We're talking about the conditions inside those prisons. We're talking about how children are affected. We're talking about holding inmates without even going to trial, that's been sitting in some of these institutions for 9 years without an innocent or a guilty plea. We're talking about all this. And so it may open up a can of worms, but it's time to open up that can. And it's time to expose some things. It's time to talk about some things. It's time to address some things. And it's time, very much past time, to push for some things. See, some of these organizations only want to step up to the plate when an incident happened. But when an incident happened and you march, you protest, it's an ongoing thing. You have to continue doing what you're doing. And don't wait till the next incident, because the problem is still there. We still don't have a solution. We don't have no amendments. We don't have no laws. We don't have no protection whatsoever. And so, as I said, just know that it's coming. Roundtable is coming. And we're going to have family members who have been impacted by what they're dealing with their family members. We're going to have ex-inmates. And we're going to have some inmates that's still inside, that's still living in those unlivable conditions. And it's sad that our elected officials, the one who stands up so faithfully and say, I am the candidate of choice. I understand what the people need. I'm here for you to make sure that your issues are addressed. I'm here for you to make sure that change happens, and it don't happen for us. Because whoever your investors are for the campaign, then they start pulling your coattail and say, we can't go that direction. We need to go this direction over here. And you know what you elected officials do? You forget about the constituent who put y'all asses in the seat, and you go over there with that other person to pacify them. And then you say to us, to hell with our wants and our needs. And it's time out. It's time out. It's way past time. And enough is enough. All right? Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Uh, More videos are to come. I'm on the road tonight. Talk to you soon.